Hello, I'm Jason and this is Super Fast Comic Book Reviews Extra. This is my comic book review video where I attempt to give each book a 90-second or less review. I say attempt, don't always achieve it. I think I'm getting better and one day I will get to that mythical figure of 90 seconds, but the whole thing is that this I will just give it a quick review, give it what I liked, what I didn't like, and I'll score out of 5. Today this is an extra review video. I picked up a couple of back issues earlier this week. I felt before I did my main review video, I'd do a quick video telling you what I thought of the books I picked up, the back issues I picked up. So let's get on with the reviews right now. So first up we have All New X-Men issue number 8. Another good issue. I was glad that this issue we get to see Angel find out what's happened to himself in our present, his future. So that was nice because that's something they've sort of built that he still doesn't know yet, and they're like, well, how's he going to react? So this issue we get to find that out. The ending, wow, what a twist, what a shock. I couldn't believe what happened, but it's not just what happened, it's the calm, cold, matter-of-fact way that they do what they do at the end of the book that really sends chills and really doesn't bode well for the future. I loved there was a great scene between Cyclops and Captain America, which I really loved, where the young Cyclops introduces himself, which I really liked. I always remember as a kid reading X-Men, and I didn't read it like this early on, like this original team. It was kind of in the 80s, and Cyclops always seemed to me to be the Captain America of the X-Men, in as such that he was this natural leader, he was very honourable, always told the line, did the right thing. And Cyclops in that way always reminded me of Captain America, and I liked that we got to see a bit of a shadowing of the guy that he'll become before his fall, and I thought that was really nice. My one gripe with the issue would be not enough Avengers. In the solicit, the main thing they sold was that this was going to be the issue where we find out their opinion, and they have one brief discussion with Beast and that's it. You know, like, come on, have none of these characters watched the Terminator? Do they not know what kind of things can happen if these characters stay in our present? So like, yeah, I thought there'd be a lot more response from the Avengers than there is. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed with that. But all in all, it was great. The art on this one was really good. If I've not heard of David Marquez before, but if he and Stuart Immonen are going to be the regular artists on this book, I'm really chuffed. I think that would be two great artists on the book, and continue and add that to what Bendis is doing here. It's really good. It's a really good read. What I've liked so far, I've not read Uncanny X-Men, but with the books that I've read, I read Wolverine and the X-Men, and what I do like about these books is that they both are very different and they're doing different things. I don't mind if there's like 10 X-Men books, as long as each book's doing something different and something unique. And certainly so far, I think Marvel are achieving that, and this was another really good issue. I enjoyed it, and I would give it 4 stars. Next up we have Uncanny Avengers issue number 3. I don't really know why I stopped getting this. I seem to remember it came out late, and I think when it came out I didn't have the money, and then issue 4 came out and I hadn't gone and got issue 3 and that, but anyway, I'm up to date with it now and I'm looking forward to the next issue. But getting back to this one for a minute, what I felt about this was, why has nobody used Red Skull as an X-Men or mutant villain before? He's such a perfect fit with his whole Nazi viewpoint, you know, of anything that's different being an abomination. I loved this, you know, it really works well as a villain in this. And the thing that I really liked about him is sometimes it's nice, yeah, you have villains that have depth, like Magneto or Mr. Freeze, who are doing these crimes for a reason, or even somebody like Dr. Doom, who's really charismatic and you can't help but kind of cheer even when he's been bad. But this guy is just totally unredeemably evil, and I kind of enjoyed that this guy's just so bad, and that you just want to see our heroes mash on him. I also really enjoyed his henchmen, the XMen, and I like the way Rick Remender introduces them and sort of tells us their powers by using the dialogue. It felt like a very old school way to do it, because the dialogue wasn't chunky or big, but you had the dialogue boxes, and then you had the whole approach to how Remender writes this issue as a very old school kind of feel. I also really enjoyed Havoc. I thought he really steps up in this issue to be a leader. The character I don't really know much, but I'm really enjoying him so far in this book, and I like that he sort of steps up and sort of says, no, I'm in charge, we do it this way. So I really like that. Though while I'm enjoying Havoc, and I think he's a good leader, it always seems strange to me when you have Captain America on a team and he's not the leader. I remember as a kid reading the Avengers, and you might have Cap on the team and the Wasp might be the leader, and I always found it strange that Cap wasn't. Of course, with this book I understand the symbolism that Havoc, a mutant, is in charge, and that Captain America, one of the world's greatest heroes, has no problem with that and will serve with him, sort of to get the message a lot that there's nothing to be feared from mutants. But even so, it still seems a bit strange having Cap on a team and not be in charge. But at least one thing that Remender does, he does address that, and it is kind of addressed in here in a nice scene between Havoc and Cap. The other thing about Cap that I didn't like was his new uniform. I don't understand why they needed to change it. You know, okay, with Hawkeye, his uniform was different to the one in the film, so they had to get it more in line. No problem with that. But Cap, you could tell, if they had changed, you could still tell that was Captain America. I don't understand, because all this change has done is just make it so that even great artists can't draw him right. Nobody knows how to draw him right anymore, and that's a shame. You know, I don't know why they could have just left him as he was. But all in all, though, I enjoyed this. I thought it was a really good book, a really good read, and I would give Uncanny Avengers 5 stars. There we go. Next up, and finally, I should say, we have Uncanny Avengers issue number 4. Again, I really enjoyed this book. The art I really enjoyed. I hadn't really heard many people be that positive about the art, but I really liked it here. And I don't know, some of the scenes, if it was the colouring as well that really adds to it, but there's some great scenes in this book that I just really enjoyed. There's a lovely page that pays homage to Days of Future Past. I thought that was really nice. As soon as I turned to the page, I was like, oh my god. I really like that moment. Great Red Skull, still a great villain for this book. Like I said before, I don't know why nobody's used him as an anti-mutant villain before, because he just fits perfectly into this. There's some great scenes as well between him and Captain America, who have a lot of the history, so I thought that was really good and that worked really well. There's a lovely scene near the end between Thor and Wolverine that I liked, sort of saying that you're not alone now, that we're in this fight together. I really like that. And I like the way they end the book with the 3 months later. That was, I felt, a really nice way to end it, because it left me wondering well, how did this happen, how did that happen, and just being really excited when the book finished in learning how we get to that point. So yeah, all in all, I'm really enjoying this book. Like I said earlier with the X-Men, I don't mind there being 10 titles, as long as each title's doing something different. I might not buy all 10, I'll just pick the ones that speak to me, but as long as they're all doing something different, I have no problem. And so far, I think Marvel, they're doing that. They're really, each of these Avengers books has a different feel, and has a different kind of thing they're trying to achieve. And I think that's something that I applaud Marvel for. Another really great issue. I'm really loving this book. One of my big regrets in comics is that I never jumped on board the Uncanny X-Force run. I'm picking it up in trade. I've read the first one, the Apocalypse one. I got to get in the next one, but I'm enjoying that in trade. But I always regret that I didn't get on that from day one, or at least when I got back into comics. So I'm glad that I'm on board with this one. I'm looking forward to seeing what Remender does with this team. And so far, it's a good ride. I'm enjoying it, and I give issue 4 5 stars.